Hello gorgeous people, what is going on? And welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're back going over the creepy analog horror series, Obelisk. Now, I've actually made a video on the series before, so if you haven't seen that already, I highly recommend you go watch that first using the link in the description down below. But in case you need a little refresher anyway, this series is about creatures that can enter your house through doorways. They can enter your house through a doorway in your hallway, through your closet, and some of these creatures can be friendly, but also some of them can hurt you and take you to a totally different world. At least, that's what we think is going on here so far. Today, we're gonna watch all the recent videos released in the series and see if we can make any connections, develop any theories, and find out what's really going on here. Now, of course, please be sure to go support the creator of this analog horror series, Lizardmeninc, whose link to their channel will be at the top of the description down below. Please be sure to go and support your analog horror content creators. I highly recommend you go over to their channel and watch all these videos first before coming and watching my video, but I know some people get uncomfortable watching horror videos by themselves, so another great way you could support is by going over there and subscribing to their channel and opening up their other videos in a separate tab or on another device and just putting the volume down low while you're watching my video. It still helps the creator get their watch time on their videos and promote their videos in the algorithm, so that would be greatly appreciated if you could do that. But alright guys, I have been waiting so long to make another video on this series because I love this series and I needed a sequel after the cliffhanger we got last time. So without further ado, enough of me yapping. Let's jump right in. Video 5. Why do you keep us here? She's in here somewhere. Okay, so right off the bat, the way that the edge of the video is waving looks like this is the same style as the third video in the series, which is the video where baby Abby is taken. And there's that creature with like the 3-pointed head. And now we're at a cemetery. I'm guessing this is from the perspective of the person in the third video. And they're looking for Abby? I'm not really seeing. Wait. That's the crib. That's Abby's crib over there. And that is not Abby. What is that? It's like some kind of worm. You're not how I remember you, Abby. Wait, so... Okay, just to run it back real quick. So in the third video of the series, which is called In Your Home, there's someone in their room, doors barricaded, they leave because they hear a baby crying, they go to check on Abby's crib, Abby's not there, and then there's that creature with, again, I don't know how to describe this thing, the 3-pointed head. And we assume that this creature took Abby. But then just now, it looked like that was from the perspective of that creature. Because when their shadow comes over the crib, it's the creature's shadow. So the creature was looking for Abby and saying, "You're not how I remember you." And now we're back at the house. And this doorway is a normal doorway now, which... When we saw the creature in this, the doorway was like completely black and all we could see was the creature's face and its hands coming out. So that confirms to me that my theory in the last video was right and that these doors are basically portals that can just be made at any moment. Blood. Nothing there. Why do you keep me here? I can't stay here. Now the door has changed again. And there's the creature. And you could hear the crying. And he's just gonna go to sleep. Trying to get into his room. Please forgive me. Okay, this is what I like about Obelisk, is that it gives you so much in such a small amount of time. I'm guessing this is what happened to Abby. Abby was a normal baby and then got turned into this worm by the creature because the creature took her. But what's confusing to me is if the same creature that took her went to visit her and then says like, you're not how I remember you. Obviously, if you did this, you know what I mean? Like if you're the one that turned her into the worm thing, you would know you're not how I mean, I guess he could just be saying that. Now we go back, we change perspective to whoever the person in the third video was, and they're back in the same room and the door is not a portal anymore. And we see them say, why do you keep me here? Then they look back towards the closet and it turns into a portal again. And they say, I can't stay here. So this seems to me like they see the portals like opening again and they're like, all right, I got to get out of here. I got to run before this creature does something to me now. Because they pretty much immediately turn around and start heading back to their room. And then of course we see the creature is following them now. And that's why they even closed the door here to try to slow the creature down so they could get back to their room. And I believe it's the creature that's making the baby crying noises, that distorted baby cry. Because if you listen here, it sounds muffled. And then it gets louder right there, before the door even opens, which I think is showing like the creature is following this character and they just got through the door. So now the sound is louder. Then they get into their room and they put the chair up against the door to make sure the creature doesn't come in. And I guess they just try to sleep off what happened. And then obviously we see the creature trying to break into the room. So here's my mini theory about this video. We saw in the last time we went over the series, the house with no windows, which was this weird distorted house that the structure of it didn't really make sense and things were all weird. I'm wondering if this character in this video is trapped in a house similar to that they can't escape from. And that's why they say, you know, why do you keep me here? I can't stay here. Because they're stuck in this house. And the only thing that they could do to escape this creature is run back to their room, make sure that their door is, you know, locked and secured, and then just try to sleep it off because they're stuck in this place right now. At least that's what I think. Because if you knew a creature was coming after you, why would you just run to your room and then try to fall asleep? I feel like you would try to just, you know, escape, call for help, anything. It's also showing if, like we said, the creature was in the cemetery and did go to visit Abby and said like, you know, you're not how I remember you. It shows that these creatures do have an attachment to the children that they interact with. Even if they turn them into these creatures, they're aware of their names and they know who they are or what they look like. Similar to how in the first video, My New Friend, we saw that guy interacting with his closet creature friend, and then, you know, in the house with no windows, they say that they recognize that. But I'm very curious to see where this goes. We're getting more and more bits of information. I'm so happy to be going over the series again. I'm so excited. Especially later in this video, there is a 20-minute video that looks like it is a sequel to The House with No Windows, which I have been desperate for. Also, the description for this one says, "Is it really you?" Which I'm guessing connects to, you know, Abby, you don't look like how I remembered you. Is it really you? But all right, I think that's all I got on this for now. So let's jump into the next one. Video 6. You've come back. This is a very new style. Two birds and a fish? Oh, hello. I see one bird and a fish. Oh, there's the other one.
How are things going?
Out of all the times we actually get voices for characters in this series, we get it when it's some kind of puppet bird talking. Okay.
I'm just thinking. I've had Goldie for years, and I had to bear him yesterday. It's just strange that he's gone now. Where do you think he is? I'm not quite sure, but some people believe that when a loved one passes away, a small piece of them can come back as something else to visit you when you're sad. I don't see why it'd be different for a fish. I'm sure he'd still want to come by and check up on you.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Someone's at the door.
5.
Who would be out this late?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hello?
No one
Who's at
there.
the door?
A butterfly? Ain't no way you were banging on the door.
It's a butterfly.
And the description of this video says butterfly. This is so interesting to me because this is such a different kind of video. The vibe of this is so bright and deep in a way. So just for some context, I tried to look up like what butterflies mean relating to death, because, you know, they're talking about how Goldie died, and, you know, the other bird says, well, you know, maybe they could come back to you in one form or another. And then this butterfly enters the room. And in butterflies relating to death, they can symbolize the soul and transformation, which, I mean, given the context of this video and everything that we saw, I would say that the butterfly is Goldie coming back to see this bird and just to say hello. You know, that's its way of coming back as something else to visit him. It's also a very interesting vibe because this seems so calm and so like such a nice and innocent conversation, and then you get kind of jump scared by the banging on the door, and there's the numbering of the bangs on the door too, which I feel like should have some kind of relevance. I'm wondering if maybe you could relate this to how Abby died, and maybe her way of coming back in a different form was becoming that worm thing. That's the only way that I could think about it in context to the series. And maybe that's what it's meant to show, but maybe it's gonna mean something else further down the line. This is a very interesting video, and I like this one a lot. I really like the style of this one with the bird puppets, and it gives this weird vibe with just how they look, but it's got this very innocent tone to it as well. And then it's just a really nice video, man. I think Lizardmeninc's work is so incredible on so many different levels. And I really don't have any much else to say on that one yet. I will say though, last time I went over this series, I didn't have as much to say as we were going over the videos. And then at the end, when I really sat down to think about everything, I had so much to yap about. So maybe that'll happen again today. But now, we are jumping into the third video for today, and it is 20 minutes long. And given the thumbnail, I think it's going to be a sequel to The House with No Windows, which is what I wanted the most of out of this series. So here we go. On to the next one. Video 7. The Man in the Tower. I closed my bedroom door last night. And now it's open. That would be terrifying for me. And the lights aren't working either? Hell no. You got this, bro. I believe in you. Be brave. I mean, I'd barricaded myself in my room, try to call the police, but the whole house is dark. Alright, so this isn't a direct continuation to The House with No Windows. It smells like burnt matches. Well, that's what The House with No Windows smelled like. Did I see something there? Right around here on the screen? Oh no, it's like something reflecting in the other room. Dog. You wake up in your room, you know you closed the door last night, the door is open, none of the lights in the house are working, and now you're gonna go into the dark, creepy basement? Could never be me. Could never be me. Like, just look at this. This is giving like such dark, creepy basement vibes. That door doesn't belong there. Interesting. Okay, also, it looks like he decided not to go into the basement. I'm hearing something.
This can't be happening.
Wait. Okay, so outside of his window is just like another part of the house.
This can't be happening.
He said this can't be happening. I'm assuming right now that one of the creatures has transported him to a house that looks exactly like his, but it's different. Kind of like in The House with No Windows, how it looked like a house, but there were things that just weren't quite right about it. It seems very similar here. Trying to make a phone call. This isn't my home anymore.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Okay, and you can't even call for help. No phone service. Understandable to barricade your own bedroom door so that nothing could get in, but he knew to also make sure the closet door couldn't be opened. I'm thinking this is the same character from the first video and from the house with no doors or windows. Because it seems they know about the creatures and that they could come through closet doors. He decided to go through the mysterious door. Really thin hallway. It's almost like you woke up in the back rooms, dude. Is that a door on the floor? Wait, what is that? It's like it is a door on the floor or on the wall. Yeah, see, now it's... the doors don't make sense or anything anymore, like the house with no windows. It was able to perfectly copy this person's house, but anything outside of that is just random and not quite right. I'm waiting to see it. Come on, come on.
God damn it.
Light's still not working. God, please lift the camera up, please. You're gonna scare me. I don't think we've seen the creature yet. Up or down? Go up. Yeah, whatever. It seems like this guy's only light is the light on his camera. So if this camera dies, he's just cooked. See, like, in a situation like this, nothing makes sense, right? So would it almost be a better idea to try to go back to your room and go back to sleep? Because if you fell asleep and woke up in this weird version of your house, this like weird different world, it would make sense to try to go back to sleep to wake up out of it. Because I don't think this is going to lead anywhere. Like, I think he's just going to be in a giant maze of rooms now. And that could be why in the first video we watched today, that same person tried to go to sleep. Because maybe they woke up in the same situation as this character. You see, you picking up what I'm putting down here? You understand what I'm saying? We'll say something. Say yes or no if you understand. God, got me talking to myself here. Like, I just think you're gonna go through all these rooms and then get lost. Okay, there's like a paper boat there. I don't know what that is on the wall. Stairs up to nowhere. We've seen that before. Oh, dead end. Oh, I definitely thought something was gonna get him right there. It's so dark. I can't tell if there's something in the doorways that like hides away really quick or not. Dustpan. I remember this room. Really? You know, how do these giant creatures, if they're walking around here, get through these tight hallways? Okay, this is the other side. Yeah. My home. That was a window he looked through earlier. But this is the other side of it. Oh! It's talking. Oh no. It seems like it's moving really quick now. Okay. I was going to talk about this later, but in the description of this video, it says David with a question mark. And with that context, if you hear the creature, whenever it says something or whenever it makes that noise, it almost sounds like it's trying to say David. So I'm guessing that's the name of our character, and this creature knows his name. David. So it's trying to find him. Oh, he's back where he was earlier. So going up these stairs should get him back to... Oh, it's really close. Oh no! Oh no! It sounds like it can move so quickly. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Just go back to your room and barricade yourself in your room again. I think that's your best bet here, buddy. Yep, back through the really tight hallway. Did you just pick up on that? Look at that again. He keeps running, but the hallway keeps getting longer. It's literally expanding in front of him. Oh my god, it's right there. What are you gonna do? It literally controls this space. It can alter the space in real time. It knew he was running and extended the hallway so it couldn't get away. So he couldn't get away. Different types of rooms now. I need to keep going. I really hope it doesn't catch you in here. Really tall door. Oh. I thought you were gonna end the video there, man. See, when you see all those chairs piled up like that, it makes me wonder if, like, someone else was trapped in this same space. Maybe they tried to pile up all those chairs to not get caught by the creature. The walls are changing. That's... yeah, that's the same crevice he, like, climbed through before. And this is the room from the house with no windows. Yup. I've seen this room before. Yes, you have. That's so interesting. The room is exactly the same, but the hallways outside of it are not, because like right here, this was not here in the house of no windows. On the other side of this door, it was different. You know what's interesting too? He opened this door when he went into the house of no windows. So it's like the room is the same as he left it. If he remembers the room, if he's been there before, does he, like, wouldn't he recognize what's going on a bit more right now? Like, wouldn't you be like, oh, this is exactly the same as the house with no windows? I can hear some kind of music. Oh. Oh my god, that's its full body. It's so tall. The feet, the hands. It looks like it's wearing clothes too. Dude, you're... I mean, yeah, I guess go through there. That was cool that he slid the camera. This is really good. Really good videos. Well, this should... yeah, this should get him back in his normal house. Yeah. Oh. He changed up the structure of the rooms again. That toy elephant in there. Oh god, I feel like he's just gonna turn around and it's gonna be right in his face. The music reminds me of sunny days. This is my childhood home. This is the same living room from the video My New Friend, from the first video in the series. This is the same room. So again, if it hasn't been confirmed enough, this is the same character that was in the first video, My New Friend, The House with No Windows. It's all the same person. So I'm guessing that in My New Friend, our character here, David, was a child, and he had this creature in his closet. And I guess maybe he grew up thinking it was his imaginary friend and then later forgot about it. And that's why now he doesn't recognize it. But the creature still recognizes him. And it seems like it's still trying to connect with him. The only thing that confuses me is the house with no windows, like where that comes into play. Because clearly David has been to the house with no windows, but does he not recognize the creature? He did see it there. I mean, he doesn't acknowledge that he saw it there. But wouldn't you I feel like you would say something like, this is very much like the house with no windows. This is exactly like it. Or I don't know. It's just weird that he doesn't reference it at all, other than the fact like, oh, this room looks familiar. Like, don't you think the whole structure of everything going on right now seems familiar? Like all of these rooms, the way that they're structured, like everything seems familiar before you even see that room. But yeah, this is the same room. I remember the clock and the TV. We moved not long after Dad passed. Yeah, there should be a staircase on his right when he goes through this doorway. Or maybe not. Oh, there was a staircase there, yep. Is he gonna go to his old bedroom? David, I was so short. 88. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So it was 1988 when he was a child. Now, just clock this real quick. There's this in the closet. Obviously, not everything that he's seeing right now is exactly like his house. I mean, he just saw a giant chair at the end of the hallway. But I'm wondering if maybe did his dad, end his own life? And that's why there's that in the closet there. I just think that would be too random of an item to add into the video, you know? This is my old bedroom. Nothing has changed. Yep, and there's the closet. That's where we saw the first creature for the first time. What are you gonna do? David. Incredible. Incredible. Okay, so throughout all the videos that we watched today, we got a lot of reveals, a lot of answers that we didn't have before. Most notably, what I want to talk about is David's story here, which is the character that we just saw the POV of in the last video. There's kind of two storylines going on at the same time here. There's David's storyline and there's Abby's storyline. David's storyline takes place in the videos My New Friend, You're Almost Gone, The House with No Windows, and now this video, The Man in the Tower. And we have a pretty solid timeline here about what order things happened exactly. First was My New Friend, when David meets the creature that we see in this video as a child, when he's a lot younger. Then at some point, a bunch of time passes and he finds the house with no windows. He explores it a little bit. The creature is there, but again, it doesn't look like David sees the creature when he's there. It is there in the building, but David doesn't acknowledge it when he's recording the video, so he doesn't really see it. But apparently at some point he does get out of that house, because then we get this video that we just watched, The Man in the Tower, where David wakes up in his own home, his bedroom door is open, he knows he left it closed last night, the lights don't work in the house. He goes downstairs, there's an added door. When he looks out of his window, he just sees other rooms. And when he tries to call for help, the phone doesn't work. Horrifying premise. I mean, for me, it's honestly just scary if I were to wake up in the middle of the night and see a door that I left closed opened, because that just implies someone was in the house, someone still might be in the house, and you weren't told about it. Just very scary premise on its own. But then you add all these other things, and it's horrifying because you have no idea what's going on right now. And then to add to it, there's this gigantic creature also roaming around all these rooms, chanting your name essentially, and chasing you down. It's chasing down David throughout this entire video, but David finds, while he's running through all these rooms and hallways, he finds a room from the house with no windows. And he says, I recognize this room. Which is interesting, because that part doesn't make sense to me. If you take out the whole video, The House with No Windows, everything makes sense to me so far. Like, this creature clearly has the ability to almost teleport people to other realities that are very similar. Like, it teleports David to an exact copy of his home, but with a bunch of rooms and other hallways around it. But did David just was walking around and then found the house with no windows? Like, how did he find that? And why did he find that house where it was? And how did David get out of that house? Did he just walk around, explore, was like, whoa, this is really weird and really cool, and then he just left and moved on after that? I feel like we don't have like a clear conclusion on that, how that video ended. And then later on in this video, David finds an exact copy, or almost exact copy, of his childhood home, which we saw the living room with the TV. He goes upstairs, he sees his own bedroom. And David also informs us that he moved out of that old house shortly after his dad passed away. And like I told you guys in the video, I think that his dad might have passed away by ending his own life because of the thing we saw in the closet. And then of course at the end of the video, the creature catches up to David and finds him in the closet, and it literally says, David? And then the video ends. Now, stay with me now. But I think the creature is David's father. That might sound outrageous because it doesn't look like a human at all, but hear me out here. Remember the last video that we watched before this one? The video You've Come Back with the 2 birds and the fish? It makes no sense for that video to even exist. That video is nothing like the rest of the videos. The rest of the videos depict all these monsters and these darker vibes, but this video seems like it was just cut out of some kid's TV show and thrown into the series. And it's so short, and there's only one big meaning to it. The fact that sometimes when animals or people pass away, they might come back to you in another form. Now originally, like I said at the end of that video, I thought that that may be a connection to Abby and how, you know, she was clearly a baby, but now she's like some kind of worm thing. But I think it relates to this. I think that video is prepping us for this. David randomly mentions that he moved out of his childhood home shortly after his dad passed away. And then we also see that thing in the closet shortly after he says that. And another thing I want to add to this, the name of the series is Obelisk. And do you remember what the obelisk symbolizes? What I found out in the first episode when I looked it up? In my head, when I think obelisk, I'm thinking the statue with like the four sides and the triangular top. Purpose. Powerful religious monuments symbolizing the sun god Ra, the pharaoh's divinity, and the connection between heaven and earth. The connection between heaven and earth. Maybe this can relate to how the dead are coming back as these monstrous creatures, connecting to people that they previously knew when they were alive. And this creature doesn't seem hostile. I said this in my last video about Obelisk. The creature seems very hesitant, almost nervous to interact with David. It also seems gentle, despite how in this video when it was chasing him down, it sounded like he was like bumping into every wall and like we're sprinting through the hallways. But when he's a child and he first sees this creature, it's very calm. It clearly didn't attack him or hurt him. It clearly doesn't kill him. And when David sees it in the house with no windows, it kind of peeks through and sees him, and it kind of gets scared and like jumps back a little bit. It also acknowledges that it recognizes him at the end of that video. And then now it seems like it was just chasing him down so that it could kind of talk with him. You know, when it catches him in the closet at the end of the video, it literally looks at him and says, "David?" It doesn't just look at him and like bite his head off the second he gets him, which is what you would expect from a monster in an analog horror series. So I'm thinking David's dad died and turned into this creature that could come and talk to David. So the order of events would be David's dad dies, the My New Friend video where David interacts with the creature as a child, and then David moves out of that house. Then there's who knows how long until he eventually finds the house with no windows, and then again, who knows how long until we're at this video that we just watched. Again, the only confusing thing to me is the house with no windows. That's the only thing that like doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It makes sense to me that these creatures can, you know, when you go to sleep, teleport you into like another world almost, and then when you wake up there, you're trapped there. That's probably what's going on with the Abby storyline as well, with the creature with the three-pointed head. It must have trapped Abby and whoever the other person is with her into their own house, but in another world similar to this video. And that's why in that video, the character says, "Why do you keep us here? I can't stay here any longer." But clearly the two creatures work differently. I mean, weirdly, it looks like the creature with the three-pointed head attacked Abby, but then in this video, you know, this creature isn't just attacking and taking David, unless, I don't know, maybe this creature, now that it's caught David, will turn him into something else. But like I said, I think it's his dad. So I don't know exactly where this is gonna go next then. Like, what's gonna be the next video in David's storyline? Is he just gonna sit down and have a conversation with the creature and be like, "Hey, so what's going on?" And then the creature's gonna be like, "Well, I'm your dad." Like, or maybe the creature isn't even aware that it's his dad. Maybe it's also confused. I don't know. It's just hard. It's like we have bits of story, and I think it could make sense that it's his dad, but it's just trying to link everything, connect everything for sure. Also, David clearly doesn't remember the creature exactly because he's so afraid of it, and obviously in the My New Friend video when he first meets it, he's so welcoming of it. But I think it makes sense because like if David was a child when he first met the creature, growing up, he probably forgot about it or just thought maybe it was all in his head and was an imaginary friend of his. And obviously it didn't attack him or anything, so there's nothing to really like create a memory in his head forever about it as a child. And in the video, The House with No Windows, we see the creature, but again, I don't think David sees it. We see it, but David kind of, when the camera looks at it, he just kind of pans away like he didn't notice it was there. So yeah, I don't know where this is gonna go next. And I'm very excited to see where it does. As far as the Abby storyline, I definitely need more videos from that one. I need more of an understanding. I also want to know whose POV we're seeing from in Abby's storyline, because Abby's clearly like a baby that was turned into a worm, right? But who is the other person that was there? Like that's still there now? Is that Abby's father? Is that Abby's older brother? Not quite sure. But of course, feel free to let me know in the comments down below what you think of my theory and if you have any ideas or theories of your own. But honestly, Lizardmeninc, absolutely incredible video. Terrifying vibes. I mean, just When David is running down that hallway and the hallway is just constantly extending so he can't reach the end of it, amazing. So well done. It's literally like a nightmare. Like, you know when you have a nightmare and you're trying to run away from a monster or something scary and you just feel like you're running in slow motion, or you feel like you're running but you're not getting anywhere? That's exactly what this showed in this video, which is awesome. And again, even the vibes of like the video You've Come Back with the two birds, it's such a uplifting, and I don't even know how to describe it, but it was such a nice and calm video, and I would definitely like more of those if we could get those too. But amazing stuff. Definitely worth the wait. I can imagine how long Lizardmeninc has been working on that last video that we watched. So as always, guys, please be sure to go support Lizardmeninc's channel, who will be linked at the top of the description down below. Please be sure to go and support your analog horror content creators. Go over there, watch the videos for yourself, drop a like on them, see if you could find some things that I didn't notice in those videos. Also, you should go over to their channel and subscribe anyway, because they're going to be releasing more videos, and I won't go over Obelisk for a little while now until they have a lot more videos in the series to go over. And also, I'll be linking Lizardmeninc's Instagram in the description down below as well. But alright guys, other than that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to drop a like on it. And if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. I make videos like this all the time on my channel, going over all sorts of different analog horror series. And also, if you want to see some non-horror videos from me, be sure to check out Project Immortal, which will be linked in the description down below. But alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.